Hey everybody, what's going on? TJ here from the Midlife Hockey Crisis Beer League podcast. In this week's episode, we interview the CEO of the Hockey Arsenal, and that is Andy Oman. We're going to talk about their line of sticks, including their brand new stick, the Jealousy. That's a pro-level stick that they have out and made available for retail at $179. Andy was gracious enough to give us a stick to give away to you, our loyal listeners. So what we decided to do is once we've reached 250 subscribers, we're going to put all those names into a random drawing, pull out one, and that person is going to win a Jealousy hockey stick from thehockeyarsenal.com absolutely free. This is a $179 stick you can win by simply subscribing to the podcast. Doesn't cost you a darn thing. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can always jump on thehockeyarsenal.com and buy one and get that 15% discount for using the promo code, all capital letters, midlife. So here we go. Here is our interview with the Hockey Arsenal CEO, Andy Oman.
It is time for the Midlife Hockey Crisis Beer League podcast, brought to you by winningsynthetics.com. Your one stop for all things Amsoil, and thehockeyarsenal.com. Now, here are your hosts, TJ Hollingsworth and Dangling Dave Dickerson. Take it away, boys.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting, action-packed, fun-filled episode of Midlife Hockey Crisis Beer League podcast. I am your host, TJ Hollingsworth, joined by my co-host, the Dangler, the man who got another hat trick last Sunday, accounting for all of our scoring, Dangling Dave Dickerson. What's up, bud?
Man? How are you?
I'm good, man.
Lots of luck on that last game.
He always chimes in with this. It's luck.
Luck.
They went in.
They did go in.
And the scoreboard changed every time they did.
Scoreboard changed.
So
I had a hell of a pass from Susie. I have to keep giving her credit. She got the face off, and I nailed it in. That's her goal. I just helped.
So, Susie, there you go. Props.
Yeah,
Next one, you got to get on your own, though, coast to coast. All right, folks, we've got a great show lined up for you today. We are on the phone right now, joining us live all the way from beautiful Bloomington, Minnesota, the CEO and founder of one of our sponsors, thehockeyarsenal.com. Please welcome Andy Oman. Andy, how you doing, friend?
What's up, Andy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
We are doing fantastic. As anyone that's listened to more than one episode of this show knows, I was a customer of the Hockey Arsenal before you came on board as a sponsor, and just absolutely fell in love with your product line, your sticks in particular. And we hooked up not too shortly after that. We've got a great generous discount program that you've offered for our listeners by using the promo code midlife, all cap letters, when you go to the Hockey Arsenal. But a lot of things happening with your company right now. I know Dave's very excited because he has put his hands and actually got a chance to demo somebody else's brand new Jealousy hockey stick. So I want to talk a lot about that because I think you've got an amazing product at a great value. But before I get all excited and jump around here like a fish in a frying pan, let's do this in chronological order. Andy, let's bring everybody up to speed a little bit. Tell us about your background on hockey, your past, your currently, and what you're doing in hockey.
Sure. So I started playing hockey when I was 4. Started playing in Wisconsin, which is right next door to Minnesota, but definitely has a little bit different hockey history than the state of hockey in Minnesota here. But started playing hockey when I was 4 and basically have played ever since. And a few years ago, kind of started to get this idea about making some hockey sticks, particularly focused on the beer league crowd, and we saw an opportunity there. And so we started the Hockey Arsenal kind of late 2017. We started selling sticks early in 2018, and we've been kind of growing and adding more to our lineup as time goes by. And as you mentioned, we just released our newest stick and kind of the top of the line stick, the Jealousy. So really excited about that.
Awesome. Sorry, I was taking some notes. I purchased one yesterday, and I appreciate the email back and forth. I got to use it today, so I'm ridiculously excited. Travis, thank you. I know you listen to the show, and
Travis actually he bought one with just utilizing our promo code and just based off hearing us
Right.
here on the podcast. So
Yeah.
and Travis was
thank you, Travis.
Yeah, it's a hell of a stick, man. It was nice.
Andy let Dave use it too,
Awesome.
which
That was even nicer. Yeah. I went and grabbed it. I saw him carrying it in. I saw Jealousy on the side. I'm like, I'm going to go take that. So Andy, I have a question too. You know, you mentioned a little bit just a second ago with a I don't want to say flooded market, but with so many sticks out there just available with all kinds of prices and flexes and this. Why hockey sticks? What kind of got you into that mindset?
You know, I kind of had a career in the corporate world and always had this entrepreneurial bend and really was kind of looking for an opportunity there. And, you know, being a hockey player for my whole life, it's always been, you know, a passion of mine, and kind of had some connections into the hockey world, particularly the hockey stick making world. We've got a guy that's part of our team that he was the creator of the original carbon fiber stick back in the late 90s.
Wow.
So had some really cool connections like that we could kind of build off of. And one of the things we saw was, I guess it was two things. One was there was very little hockey stick sales on Amazon. So nobody was really intentionally selling sticks on that platform. And obviously we all know how significant that platform is and the growth that's going on. So we saw an opportunity there. But the other thing related to that was we knew that particularly in kind of the adult category, beer league category, that much of the growth in that part of the sport is happening outside of what we'd call the hockey belt, kind of Minnesota, Michigan, Massachusetts,
Right.
New York, that northern tier. And so we looked at those two things and said, man, there's not a lot of hockey retail outside of the hockey belt. That's where the growth in the adult market is. And we've got this opportunity on Amazon. So we really looked at that and said, you know, let's dive in. And we did it. And we really wanted to create a brand that was focused on that segment. So we weren't sitting here trying to say, yeah, we'll make sticks for that group too. And we're really focused on the elite players. We were focused on beer leaguers and making sticks for them and selling them in a way that was convenient for them to get.
Right.
Hey, Andy, TJ here. I got kind of a two-part for you here, and you can kind of decide what order you want to answer them in. My first thing was when we originally started communicating, you had two sticks out. You had the Envy and you had the Covet. Covet being a little higher end, a little lighter stick. Both of them terrific. I own one of each and have used it and have had a blast with it. My question is, one, what was the determining factor? What made you decide, hey, we need to come out with a third option? And also the fact that you are, you are focusing on the recreational player. What are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome and address with the fact that there isn't somebody at the NHL level that's using your product? You know, what's it been like to getting the word out that you do have these sticks available?
Yeah. So, we launched with the Envy, which, really is it's a great stick. I love this story. So, our stick designer, kind of our technical guy, this Tim Pearson, he's got such a history in the sport. The Envy is, right around 520 grams, which a pound is 454. So, it's like a pound and a quarter. Mm-hmm. So relatively light in whatever terms we're talking about. But, in today's world, that's called a heavy stick. And Tim told me, he goes, what's really funny about that being called a heavy stick is, he goes, I gave Brett Hall his first carbon fiber stick. And he goes, it was 540 grams, and he thought it was the most amazing thing ever. Because a traditional wood stick weighs 720 grams. So
right.
It's pretty significant savings over that. So the Envy is 20 grams lighter than the first carbon fiber stick that Brett Hall ever got. Wow. But so we launched with that, and the biggest reason for that was we knew with kind of an unknown brand that people might be a little skeptical and probably wouldn't be willing to jump on more expensive sticks right away. So we wanted to start with that as kind of our entry point, mm-hmm. And then we had a plan of adding to that portfolio. We added the Covet about a year later. Covet's a fantastic stick.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Nice mix of performance and durability and weight and all of that. And frankly, is as somebody who's still playing beer league, the Covet's really my choice. It's just a really nice price point with a quality and value stick that you get for that. So we were excited about that, but the hockey stick world has focused so much on weight as kind of the primary indicator of the quality of the product, right? That the lighter you can make it, that must mean the better it is. And so, we kind of knew that until you have a stick that sort of meets that premium quality level, which the Jealousy does, we knew that, we probably still wouldn't be taken seriously by most people, even if we're talking about beer league players, right? So that was really, our long-term plan, that we had this, 3-tiered structure set up in our mind, that we could have the entry-level price with the NB, kind of a really nice quality value product with the Covet, and then the premium product with the Jealousy. And now we've made it. We still have a lot more options and variations that we want to create, but it's been nice to be able to have that full suite of product out there. So really excited about having all three, and I think gives people the option to choose the stick that is really right for them in terms of quality, budget, performance, etc.
Yeah, playing with all three, you can't go wrong with any of them. So I'm kind of taken back by somebody giving Brett Hull a stick. That was my all-time favorite player growing up as a kid. I actually just bought his jersey again a few weeks ago, so that was kind of a cool story. My mouth dropped when you said that. With going in the theme, so I'm a former art director, so I like themes and graphics. And first off, your graphics are amazing. I do have a question. Your theme. So are we going to expect 4 more amazing sticks? You got the Sins. So any more going to come out? I mean, what's behind the theme? I love it, by the way.
Yeah, we've got some really great kind of branding and marketing people that are involved, and we went through an exercise, even just coming up with the name, right, for the company, and then the name for the products, and Envy kind of came out, right? That was kind of what started the whole thing, and kind of started looking at that, and came up with, hey, we got Envy, Covet, Jealousy, it kind of all fit, and I don't necessarily know how we sorted them in terms of which stick they would go to, but Envy was the one that we started with, so that's what we used for the first stick.
Hey, Andy, how many people pick up on the fact that the Envy's green?
Yeah. I mean, and some people, think it's a little cheesy, and maybe it is, but we just thought it's,
you could make it any other color. It has to be green.
Right.
Envy's got to be green.
That's kind of the way we felt about it, but it was a nice color splash. And again, with kind of the art question here, we'd picked orange as sort of the corporate color, so we sort of reserved that for the kind of the top end stick and Jealousy. So it was a little odd being an orange company with a green stick, but I think now it all makes sense now that we've got the Jealousy out there.
Right. If you do gluttony, that's got to be a goalie stick. It's got to be a big fat giant.
I love it.
So it may be premature, but what's next? What's next for Arsenal?
So I think where we're looking at, if people have kind of been following the brand, what we've done now with Envy is, first, pretty much with every stick, we launch with an 85 flex in the 92 curve, and it's pretty simple math.
Thank you, by the way, for that. That's pretty much what I use, so appreciate that.
and that's exactly it, right? So 85 flex is easily the most popular flex, especially in that kind of adult category, and then the 92 curve is the most popular curve. About 40% of the sticks sold use that curve. So that's kind of where we start. And then one of the big trends in sticks has been that the flex has been going down. So more and more people are using lighter and lighter flexes. So we will launch a second round with the 75 flex, and then now you'll see in the Envy is we've launched an intermediate stick as well.
Yeah.
So we had that, and that one actually has been doing very well. So we're looking forward to moving that into the Covet, which just came out with the 75 Flex this year. And then obviously we'll be extending the Jealousy line in that way too. So the other thing that we get questioned a lot about is, what about other curves? And so, we'll certainly be looking at curves, kind of a little inside hockey info here. So basically there are three main curves that are sold today, the 92 being the top one, and then the 88, which is a real neutral mid curve, and then the 28, which is a pretty aggressive toe curve. Those are the three most popular. But one of the things that we know is, if you split the market by age, roughly around 30, so really kind of looking at beer leaguers and then younger players, beer leaguers tend to use the 88 curve much more often, and younger players are more into the 28. So we'll be looking at launching an 88 curve line, and that'll be the next extension. So those are all kind of within what we're doing now. Obviously, what we'll be looking at beyond that is, you mentioned goalie sticks, Dave. That's certainly something that we've had a lot of questions about. So we'll be looking into that. And then after that, it's, what else is there in terms of, what's missing? What else are people looking for? And we certainly love feedback if people have something that they're interested in. We're always loving to hear feedback from our customers.
Right, we love it, and I can't wait for the gluttony. But no, we love your product. We love just the attitude that you give, that your website gives. Just the players that are on your site. It's awesome. And thank you again for the jersey. So for those of you guys who don't know, TJ and I ordered a couple of jerseys from you, and they are you graciously accepted that we can borrow your logo and wear it around and embarrass ourselves in your wonderful logo. But I can't wait for that.
We love having it out there. So
my God, it's probably one of the coolest jerseys I've ever seen. It's pretty aggressive. So guys that are listening, jump on that site. But thank you, man.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, for folks listening out there, it just seems like a lot of sports today, even at the recreational level, everything's kind of either directed towards young kids or it's directed towards people, young adults who have ambitions of playing at very high levels. And it is fantastic to see a company that is focusing on, the beer league guy, the guy that just wants to go out and play recreational, that has a budget, that doesn't have a huge backing or a huge university bankrolling everything, and to come up with such high quality products. And again, folks, I said this back when we brought this program together, that if I wasn't using the product, I didn't like it, I wouldn't be sitting here talking about it week after week.
Pretty much what we do, for whether you're buying it on our website or through Amazon, they're all Prime, so free shipping on the sticks as well.
Awesome.
And the other thing I think we did a little bit differently from many of the other second tier brands out there was most of them are offering kind of that Jealousy only line, right? They're saying, hey, we've got a $300 stick and you can come and buy it from us for $180. And we really think that there was a need and an opportunity for players to have access to sticks like the Covet and the Envy, and offering kind of those entry level and mid level sticks was a critical factor for us too, that we wanted to use to be able to differentiate ourselves. And
well, I 100% agree. And Andy, it's something, myself, I'm coming up on my first anniversary of having been a hockey player, and having been around a lot of other people like myself. And anybody out there listening, I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of used sticks, simply because you don't know where they're at in their lifespan. On the flip side of that, I know for a fact when I started playing, and even to today, my game is not deserving of a $300 hockey stick. And the fact that I can get something that's brand new,
nor is mine.
Yeah. that I could come to the Hockey Arsenal, and for under $100 I could get the Envy that we were just talking about, and have a brand new high quality stick. And then as my game gets better, there are now 2 additional options that I can get through the Hockey Arsenal for under $200. They're going to give me the, as good, if not better quality than some of the other stuff that has some more recognizable name brands. I'm telling you, folks, you cannot go wrong. Check it out, thehockeyarsenal.com. And again, Andy's been very, very generous to offer all of our listeners a 15% discount on not only the sticks, but anything else on the site by using the promo code, all capital letters, midlife, That's going to help keep the podcast going. It's going to help keep the Hockey Arsenal going. And most importantly, is going to make you much more comfortable and feel like a better player. Well, Andy, we definitely want to have you back on here in the future, especially as you begin to roll out new products and things of that nature. And again, just thank you so much. We appreciate what you're doing for the for us beer leaguers, and we are just thrilled to death to be associated with the Hockey Arsenal.
Well, I greatly appreciate all your support and appreciate the opportunity to join you guys today.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Really do appreciate it.
All right, friends,
Excellent.
That is going to wrap it up for today. Kelly, take it away.
You have been listening to the Midlife Hockey Crisis podcast. We'll see you next period.